Hello guys, how's everybody doing? Tutagamon here. In this video I'm going to benchmark the next card game on a single GTX 970. This is a digital recording as always, which is done on an external recorder. So what you will see in this video will be pure performance. I'm using my Core i7-860, which is overclocked to 4 GHz. There we are. The system has 12 GB of memory, and the graphics card is a single GTX 970 Gigabyte G1 model. Latest ports were installed, and it is also overclocked to 1.5 GHz. I'm going to use fraps to collect frame rate data. We will see the result in this file, and some analysis will be flat at the end of the video. So let's see the options real quickly. 1080p resolution, no vertical sync, and for the graphics I'm using the Ultra preset. Basically the same settings as I used on my GTX 1070 video, for which this is a comparison too. So I'm using the same event, Gravel 1, 23 opponents, 6 laps, clear day, and that's it. Let's admire the graphics for a few seconds. I'm starting the benchmark. damage. Nice. Ooh, awesome. So let's quit the game and let's see what kind of performance we are getting. We have an average frame rate of 57 frames per second. Very good result, very playable. It is quite slower than the GTX 1070 benchmark. I will try to show you the comparison in a moment. So we have good frame rate. During the first part of the race we do have quite some performance hit, of course, too many things going on screen, but after a while the frame rate goes up and the frame times also improve quite a bit, thus giving us a very decent gaming experience. The GPU usage is at 99 to 98%. We might be experiencing a slight platform limit here, possibly from the PCI Express. CPU usage is very weird, it goes up and down all the time, and you see what kind of crazy things are happening in the CPU which the user is not aware of, and you end up with a decent gaming experience. CPU usage, so it's not okay. CPU temps are quite good. Even the CPU temps are affected by all this jumping around of the threads in the CPU, and we also end up with similar craziness in the CPU temperatures. GPU temp is okay. RAM usage at 2.8 gigabytes. 1.5 gigahertz for the core clock and 3.5 gigabytes of video RAM usage. Quite heavy. So let's see what the frame latency analysis tool can show us. Ultra GTX 970 i7-860. So I want this file, the latest one, 57 frames per second. Yes, this is what we want. And let me see, my friends, if I can also open my GTX 1070 run with the i5-2500K. This is on my Z drive, I believe. Benchmarks rec. So the rec first I want is this one, February 2017. Very good. Yes, I had 92 frames per second on average on that system, 57 on this one, same settings, I repeat. So we have an average of 17.6 milliseconds, 0.6 milliseconds rounded, yes. Variability at 3.5 milliseconds, 1.5 for the GTX 1070, and the stuttering is at 1 milliseconds, only half millisecond on the 1070. We do have quite a lot of difference, but until we go to the comparison, let's first see the frame times for what they are. They are not too bad. We do not have huge spikes, but there is some stuttering from frame to frame, as you can see. Not a deal breaker, the game still runs quite nicely. I would expect maybe a little better performance from the 970. Frame times beyond 16.7 milliseconds are about half, which is enough. Of course, that's why we have a comparable of only 45 frames per second compared to 77 frames per second on the 1070. The frame times histogram does indeed show the frame time scattered from 14 to 21 milliseconds, but overall we have decent performance. The game is quite playable. Thankfully, my runtime was similar for both runs, and we can see the frame times of both runs here. The GTX 1070 is much more condensed, much lower frame times, better performance for sure, but don't forget that I was using a better CPU on that run as well. So these are system comparisons, not only graphics cards comparisons. It would be interesting to see what would happen if I had the GTX 1070 installed on the i7-860 and then compared all that, which might happen real soon. I'm almost finishing up my GTX 1070 runs on the 2500. Sorry. We can see here, however, clearly that the frame rate of the GTX 1070 system is quite higher, and I started the benchmark exactly at the same location, so I have the same peaks and spikes and everything. This benchmark ended better than I expected. Sorry, I wanted the other graph. Let me see if I can launch my calculator, and let's see, 92 to 57 is indeed a 61% performance advantage on the for the GTX 1070 system. This is inside the ballpark of the usual performance delta of the two video cards, so maybe the CPU does not have very much say in all that. Frame rate, variability and stuttering. We can see that the stuttering on the 970 was indeed quite worse. Even the variability was quite worse, but also the stuttering is almost double. Not almost, it is double. The percentiles curve, the 1070 is the dark one, the black one. The pink one is the 970. We can see that we have a huge difference. I would say that no, I'm not going to say that, but 910, yes, there is a 60% difference, as we saw. The time spent beyond curve is also crazy. I'm not sure if it is correct, to tell you the truth, but for the 1070 it is not even a curve with such difference. And lastly, the comparable frame rate. Let me see if I calculate that, because it holds an interest of its own. 74 to 45. As you can see, the comparable frame rate is even worse. We have a 71% performance difference of the two comparables due to the very high variability and stuttering of the 970. So this is it, my friends. Quite interesting run, this one. I love this game, and I'm going to benchmark the hell out of it with everything I have, and a better CPU, of course, in the next couple of weeks. So for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.